Today we're going to field strip and clean the Springfield Echelon. This video is meant for new gun owners that have never cleaned a gun before. To get started, you'll need a few things. CLP, which stands for Cleaner Lubricant Protectant, a nylon brush made specifically for gun cleaning, a 9mm size jag, I prefer the brass type, but they do make it in plastic, 9mm size bronze bore brush, powder-free gloves, a 9mm size bore snake, cotton swabs with an angled tip, a cleaning rod with a handle that allows the rod to spin freely, a microfiber gun cleaning rag, and I normally have gun cleaning patches, but I'm out, so today I'm going to use a cut-up t-shirt. I'm just going to cut squares up about 1.5 by 1.5 inches. And I'll put a link to my website in the comments below. From there you can find all this gun cleaning gear. As of right now, the cheapest place to get it's going to be on Amazon, but if that changes in the future, I'll update my links that are on the website. And you should always start out with a clear and safe weapon, but of course I'm going to double check. To do that, press the magazine release button, drop the magazine, work the slide a few times. If anything's inside the chamber, it's going to eject at this point. Pull the slide all the way back and press up on the slide catch lever to hold the slide back in place. Now visually and physically inspect the chamber. Now there's no ammunition here because there's no magazine, and there's definitely not a round in the chamber because you'll be able to see brass right here. Rotate the takedown lever to the 6 o'clock position. Now hold the slide catch lever down and pull the slide off. Remove the recoil spring by compressing it from chamber end to muzzle end. Now you can remove the barrel. And this is as far as you need to go for a basic field strip and clean. This is not a complete disassembly video. You don't have to clean in any particular order. Today I'm just going to start with the barrel. To do that, I'm going to attach the bronze bore brush to the cleaning rod and apply a little bit of CLP to it. And I'm going to push it through from chamber end to muzzle end. I only push the brush through in one direction, chamber end to muzzle end, because I don't want to push the dirt out and pull it right back in. That doesn't make any sense at all. It's kind of like sweeping the floor. You don't just sweep back and forth because you just spread dust everywhere. You generally sweep in one direction or into a dustpan. So to do this correctly, you have to put the brush on, push it through. When it gets outside the other end, take the brush off and restart the process. You only need to push the brush through a few times depending on how much you're shooting. Now I'm going to attach the jag to the cleaning rod. Add CLP to the cleaning patch. And just like the bore brush, I only push it through in one direction. Start from the chamber and push it out to the muzzle end. You'll see that the first patch comes out dirty. Just keep pushing patches through until they start to come out clean. Okay, that's looking pretty good, but I'm going to push one more patch through just for good measure. I'm going to add CLP to the nylon brush and scrub the outside of the barrel. Make sure you get the feed ramp really well. It's got to be totally clean. Now I'm going to wipe it clean with a microfiber rag, but I'm going to leave a light coat of CLP on it. I'm just making sure I don't see any carbon or brass markings on the feed ramp, and that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take the bore snake and drop the weighted end through the chamber and pull it out through the muzzle end. There's no specific number of times you need to do this. It just depends on how much you've been shooting. In this case, I'm going to pull it through 2 or 3 times and that should be good. And I know it's hard to see on camera, but that bore is spotless. It's better than it came from the factory. There's not even a speck of dust in there. That's why I use a bore snake every time. Now I'm going to clean the recoil spring. Just add CLP to the brush and scrub in between the coils and on both ends. Now I'm just going to wipe off any excess CLP with a microfiber rag. Just going to take a closer look. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add CLP to the brush and start cleaning the slide, inside and out. This area here is the breech face, and you want to make sure you don't leak CLP down into that hole. That's the channel that the firing pin comes out of. If you think you're going to run the risk of leaking CLP into that hole, just hold it muzzle down as you're cleaning. You also want to make sure you don't leak CLP down into the striker channel here. I'm going to use the small side of the nylon brush to get in between the rails. Now that I've loosened up all the dirt with the nylon brush, I'm going to add CLP to the cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. After I rub the first cotton swab through the rails, it comes out really dirty like this. Just keep running cotton swabs through the rails until they start to come out clean. Now I'm going to wipe off the excess CLP. I'm going to make sure to leave a light coat of CLP on anything metal and a medium coat of CLP on the rails and anything that shows signs of metal on metal wear. Now I'm going to clean the frame, add CLP to the brush, and start scrubbing all surfaces, including the stippling that's on the grip. If you don't scrub the stippling, eventually it'll start turning a brownish color. But don't worry, we're not going to leave any excess CLP on the grip. We're going to wipe it completely dry. Now I'm going to clean the inside of the magazine well, but go with soft and light movements with the brush when you get up towards the top of the frame right here. I try to clean everything well, but I do give the rails special attention. And I do have 4 rails on this frame that I'm trying to get with the small end of the nylon brush. Now I'm going to use the rag to clean off the inside of the magazine well just to make sure there's no excess CLP inside. I use the brush to get it started, then I just pull it out through the top end. To get the excess CLP off of the grip, just wrap a rag around it and squeeze. I'm going to add CLP to a cotton swab and go through in fine detail. I'm going to make sure I leave a medium coat of lube on the rails and anything else that shows signs of metal on metal wear. Now I'm going to clean the magazine. I'm just going to add a little bit of CLP to the brush and make sure not to leak CLP down into these witness holes or down into the follower here. It's not necessary to disassemble the magazine every time you shoot unless you've dropped it in mud, sand, or dirt or something like that. But if you do, just hit that button right there with something small. The plate slides off, the spring and follower come out. Clean everything off with CLP, make sure it's dry, and put it back together the same way you took it apart. You probably don't need a video to show you how to do that. Today we're just going to do a simple clean and wipe down. Okay, that looks pretty good, so now it's time to reassemble everything. Place the barrel back in the slide. The stippled end of the recoil spring is the part that goes in muzzle end first. Once you have the stippled end first towards the muzzle, then compress the back end of it, and it should look just like this once it's properly installed. Now line up the rails on the frame with the rail channels on the slide and pull back. Push up on the magazine catch lever to hold the slide back. Now rotate the takedown lever back to its original position. Pull the slide catch lever back down and let the slide go home. Now I'm going to perform a function check. Work the slide. Pull the trigger, you should hear a click. Don't let it go. Work the slide, release the trigger, you should hear it reset, pull it again, you should hear another click. If you do, you're good to go. I like to make sure the slide will lock back on an empty chamber, so I insert an empty magazine and I pull the slide back, and it should stay back on its own without me having to push up on the magazine catch lever. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, subscribe to my channel and give me a shout out in the comments. Thanks for watching.